Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the High Frequency Kicks podcast, available on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. How's the new place?
The new place is awesome. As you can kind of tell, I have a crazy view. I'm high up. You can see some of my neighbors in a building over right here. And I have a really good treescape right next to me.
Nice.
And it's nice and open and big, and
awesome.
It's sweet.
I also appreciate how you took the time to show things off, and you were showing off the guns here as you're trying to show.
Look at my neighbors. Look at them. Look at this one, and then look at this one. Look at my dog. My dog is right here.
The only way to point to things is with bicep curls. No, that's great. That's awesome. Super happy you guys found a good place.
Thank you.
It can be hard to do, so that's awesome.
What are we talking about today?
You wanted to talk about it, so I'm gonna let you kind of kick this one off. But you had said martial arts social media influencers.
Yes. Okay, so I made a list of the ones that I follow. However, I feel like I don't know the names of them a lot of the time.
I feel like, do you have...
Dan, can you turn the fan off, please? Yeah. Okay,
I'm
sorry.
Try and drink my coffee from a certain angle so you can't see what's on the mug. There we go. Carry on.
Show us what's on the mug.
Well, it's just a Harry Potter mug, but I don't know. I feel like J.K. Rowling has become very, very controversial these days. So, as much as I still love the stories, I'm just gonna keep the what?
It's Baby Yoda, the Starbucks cup.
Oh, God, of course it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to Winnipeg one day, and you're just gonna have just everything Baby Yoda in your house, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, and I found sweatpants that say The Mandalorian down, and there's a little picture of him, and it's not like the goofy cartoon one like that. It's like a real ass picture of him. It's awesome. Nice. They're the best sweatpants, except they don't have pockets. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's talk about social media influencers.
Sure.
Okay, okay. I follow some people, and I made a list, but my problem is a lot of these are going to be like examples of types of videos that I follow. But, I can't, sometimes I just don't know the names their handles off the top of my head. So that was a bit of a challenge for me. But I wrote down specifics.
Yeah, I have my phone here with my Instagram open, so I can just scroll through and look at ones that I follow. So
cool.
That's my equivalent to that.
Are we speaking about Instagram specifically?
No, it's just the fastest way for me to remember which ones I follow.
Okay.
This is my
So who would you like to start with?
I don't know. This is your idea. I did Google. I was curious if we could. I Googled the definition of a social media influencer because I wanted to see if we could quantify that.
Okay.
It provided no more information than I already knew. It's basically like the best I could find was a person that has influence over other people via either just fame or expertise in a certain subject matter, and then on any social media platform, but has a big enough following that they have an influence, have a sphere of influence, whatever. So no new information there. I was looking for anything that was maybe like an actual quantifier. There really isn't one. There's
so it's a pretty broad term.
It is. And so there's I did find one article that labeled them as I closed the article already because it didn't help me, but it was macro versus mega influencer versus macro. It was just the number of followers. But
right. Because once you get to certain stages and you get different, depending on the platform, sponsorships and that kind of thing, and even traffic.
Yeah, which is still a wild thing to me that Like I could make money off of posting pictures off of like Instagram.
Yeah.
That's still a wild concept to me. Just to date ourselves a little bit here. Like we were in high school in end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000 early 2000s when we were in high school.
2007 we graduated.
Yes. I don't think we could have imagined that being a thing, right? Like if someone told you when we were graduating high school that it is possible, should you so desire, you could post pictures onto a website that anyone could see publicly and make money off that.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, at the time we did have YouTube and we did have Facebook, but it wasn't the same beast that they are now. And
not by any means.
No, and I think MySpace was still a thing. And then so if someone told us at that time that those things could be potentially a source of income, like the new celebrity, I'd be like, what? I guess it's not like, I guess I wouldn't understand exactly how it works, but it wouldn't be totally unbelievable for sure.
It wouldn't be unbelievable, but like if I right now went back to like a 17-year-old me and tried to explain to myself, I don't even know how I would start trying to explain social media as it is today to 2006, 2007 me. It'd be a strange concept to. Like, I could probably understand it after a while, but like it would be hard to actually explain it, I think.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me. It's just one of those things that I just love to look at and be like, oh yeah, this is just a bizarre thing that exists.
I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to start with, I know we both follow Marshall Club.
Yeah, and he just
or like those guys. I specifically follow like one of those guys. I didn't realize they had like it was as broad as it is until recently. But yeah, I follow one of those guys that like Andy Lee.
Yeah, who I think. Yeah. I'm gonna say he's probably the main one of the bunch.
Yeah, and he very much is. He's very memorable. Because of his current hairdo he's got going on. But yeah, I really I love his posts because they're just like so, I don't know, maybe one day I'll be that cool, but it's like he's just so good. Like it's mostly demos, so his page is a lot of demos and a bit of choreography, and it's just like so like quick demos. They're just like so inspiring and so well done and so like crisp and like almost like a cartoon. Like when you watch cartoons, like it's just looks so like perfect, I guess. Yeah, it's they're very well done. And even like they're all shot on his phone, it looks like, but even that, whoever's holding the phone's doing a good job too, because they're like really working with the movements and the choreography of it very well. So that's why I like that page. And again, that was the guy from, he's one of the guys in Paper Tigers, which we spoke about before. But yeah, I thought I really like his page.
He recently became an MCU actor. He's in the MCU now.
Where?
He's in Shang-Chi.
What? I just saw that. I just went to go see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw it last week. I don't remember. Maybe I did, and
He's a death dealer. The guy with the white, like the mask, the white.
Oh.
With the black.
That's why I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, but yeah, he played that character. So like, obviously he didn't have a stunt double because he is a stunt double. Like
yes. This is what you call a stunt actor. They get hired for their stunt abilities, but are also the play the character because there is little to no acting involved. Yeah, but that he I had no idea that was him. He's nasty in that movie.
Is he? I haven't. To take a
Spoiler
very
alert.
brief tangent. Yeah, to take a very brief tangent. I am not comfortable yet braving theaters. So as much as I really, really want to see that film, I cannot bring myself to go to a theater to do it. I just don't trust.
Is it not on early access somewhere? Is it not on a streaming service?
I looked on Disney Plus. It's not there yet.
Oh.
They're not putting it
Not
out
even
until it's
early
done in
access?
theaters. Not that I saw. Maybe I'm wrong. But also I don't. Just a personal thing. I'm already paying for Disney Plus. I don't like the idea of paying an extra $30
Yeah.
on top of my
Agreed.
thing to view a film. So I don't. Just a personal thing. If someone watching this does like that, and you have done that before, have fun. Go ahead. I don't care. I just won't do it. I don't like the idea.
No, me either. I won't do it either. Like, if I'm going to spend $30 on a movie, it's like I want the movie theater experience.
Right. And you know, we are still in the middle of a pandemic, although hopefully coming soon to maybe the end. We're getting a lot of people vaccinated, but I'm not comfortable in theaters yet. So I think it's coming on to Disney Plus December, I think I saw. So
it's okay. I'll just report back
here.
with tales of how much fun I'm having.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's why I follow your Instagram, because you're an influencer and you show me how much fun you're having.
Oh yes,
Back
everybody
on
follow
topic.
me.
Look at that.
Everybody follow me.
He's great. I follow him as well. Him and his brother, who's one of the other guys in their martial club group, Brian Lee, and I follow the two of them, as well as one other gentleman from their group his name is also Andy Ma, I believe, M-A. So I follow the three of them, and I follow them on both Instagram as well as YouTube. For myself, I mean, their content has been very much, is for me an inspiration in the stuff that I'm trying to work on. Stuff that I wanted to work on while I was still living in Winnipeg, because I knew you were there and I could work on things with you. And then, of course, I had to move to another city again. So now I have to try and figure out how to do this on my own. But,
one day we can have a session again.
Or, I just want to put this out there again, you could always move to Montreal.
You know what? Montreal kicks ass.
It does.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest.
Montreal kicks butt.
I think
I'll figure that out. Okay.
I'm sure you can. If we have to change the listing on the podcast, we can do that.
Okay. So, I really like Montreal. I have no reason to move there except for you, I guess. But I really like it. I think I could definitely adapt to it if I had to.
You know what? I mean, it's definitely different. It took us we had the benefit that I had a couple of friends here that helped us adjust, but
that's good.
I do find that the opportunities in the city are there's more opportunities than there were back in Winnipeg. Unfortunately, because I do love Winnipeg because it's my hometown, but there's just more avenues for advancement here, I think, which is why I'm here.
That's good.
But yeah, no, their YouTube content is a lot of skits and short films and their own little martial arts videos, and it's a lot of stuff that's like inspiring to the stuff that I want to do. And I when I try to come up with my ideas, they're one of the places I look to for examples and templates. Almost, it's like, okay, I'm trying to set up this kind of a scene or write this kind of a story. I'll go to their content for inspiration of like, how do they do it? What can I learn from what they've done? What parts can I take apart from that and apply to what I'm trying to write? Yeah. So they're really great for that. They don't, as far as influencers go, they don't really do like product placement that I've seen so far. They're gaining a lot of traction lately, so we'll see if that changes.
Well, if one of them ended up in a Marvel movie, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Like two of them were in the film. Like Brian Lee was there as well, but he's only credited as a stunt performer. Okay. Whereas Andy Lee was actually a named character, and I only found that out because they were posting from the red carpet of the movie.
Oh, cool.
And like when they did the lineup of like all the actors, Andy Lee was was in front, like on stage with, Simu Lee. I'm sure I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but the main actor. I apologize for butchering that name, but I don't.
I forgive you. I forgive you.
I appreciate that. But as well as the rest of the cast, and so he was up there with them and made a spectacular entrance as he walked on and did a flip and in his usual way, and then took his spot on stage.
That's awesome. See, okay,
yeah,
see,
that's how I realized.
This is what can happen if you really put that effort in. You could be that guy. End up in a Marvel movie just from posting stuff online. That's awesome.
No, it's absolutely amazing, and absolutely congrats to him.
Do you have anyone else?
I follow a lot, honestly. Obviously, yeah, those guys are a big one for me. There's a few other guys that I follow. My Instagram, so I have two Instagram accounts. One's just my usual, just nonsense, whatever stuff, and then I have one for actual, just martial arts stuff. And so anyone martial arts related, I follow on that one. And it goes from people like that who have the over-the-top theatrical presentations and demos and things, down to the practical application stuff. I have people that I have, self-defense experts, knife experts, military and police officer experts that do talks for practical application of defense and things. So it's very varied, the stuff that I follow on here. One of the things that I really love doing is weapons training. Mm-hmm. So I've got a few weapons people I follow on here, and various people that have also been in tons of other films, and stunt performers in other movies as well. I'm trying to find this one. There's one in particular. There's a couple actually. I can look it up here. Childish Figure. Yeah. Childish Figure on Instagram. And she's an amazing weapons. There's very similar style to Andy Lee and the guys from Martial Club in that it's the over-the-top fancy theatrical stuff. But her focus is a lot on weapons. And she does a lot of stuff with katanas as well as stabs. And of course, my favorite weapon, the one that I go to the most often when I'm doing weapons training, is the bow staff. So I love watching her combos. She does great combos of weapons and mixes them with jumping kicks. And she's been in movies. She does some extra work as well, and stunt work. But as far as I'm aware, she hasn't had a named character. But of course, similar to the guys from Martial Club, when I find this common with a lot of people, obviously she has her own YouTube channel and makes her own things and does her own whatever stuff there. But if you're anyone who's interested in weapons training, she's a fantastic performer as far as that's concerned. And that's one of my bigger ones that I follow right now. Is I try to find anyone doing weapons training.
Yeah, I don't follow any of those, so I should I'll check that one out for sure.
It's
like cool. I see random videos in my feed, but I don't think I follow specific weapons training pages or anything. So yeah, I'll look at that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's become the thing because it's what I do a lot of in my time. Obviously, like my own training, what I'm doing is very similar things with jump kicks and spin kicks and fancy stuff like that. But my friends have for whatever reason, I didn't do this on purpose, but have decided that weapons are my thing, or what they attach to me as far as my martial arts signature, for lack of a better term. And so they'll send me all the time. They'll send me people that they come across on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. They'll be, oh, look at this neat combo, and I've 9 times out of 10 I've already seen it. Or I follow the person, so I've stuff like that.
That's like when someone sends me Halloween decor. I'm like, old news, man, but thanks.
Yeah, I'm sure most things that I sent you've already seen.
Yeah, the toilet. Everyone sends me that skull toilet. Like everybody.
I think if I see anything that's a skull or a coffin, immediately I send it to you.
Yeah, I love it. Things that are coffin shaped and skull shaped. It's awesome. Anyways, tangent. Also, just sticking to the movie theme, an influencer I started following a couple years ago is, this is a little different, but like a stunt woman. She's at Lucy Cork. So she does like big Hollywood movies. She's a big Hollywood stunt woman. Gorgeous, so talented. I follow her online, and her posts are like, sorry, on Instagram I follow her, and her posts are like, she has a lot of like videos of her training different drills and choreography, and kind of like mixed versions of the two. So it's very like, it's motivational and also like gives me a lot of good ideas for combos and that kind of thing, which I really like. I started following her when she was dating Henry Cavill. But then I was like, dang, this is like so interesting. I just got like, if anything, I'm more into her page than I am his now. But yeah.
That's awesome. I found like there's a lot of like, I guess I'd call it a rise in popularity, and it's a good thing. Obviously, I love it, but like within female martial artists, I think it's actually probably a topic we could talk about of just being a woman in martial arts, because I'm not, but you are.
I don't know, your hair.
That.
You're getting there.
My hair is getting crazy long. Anyone who's familiar with Matt Mercer, that's the look I'm going for.
I thought it was Jesus.
No, I was aiming for Matt Mercer.
Okay. Well, you can also be Jesus with glasses. I would assume that Jesus would know how to heal his own eyesight, though.
He probably wouldn't need glasses. Yeah.
He has like supervision anyway. Anyways, so you said women in martial arts.
But there's been like a lot of the accounts that I've been following are very, very talented, extremely good women in martial arts. I find that there seems to be, and rightfully so, like yourself and many others I've trained with. I've trained with a lot of extremely talented women. And
thank you.
You're welcome. Martial arts is definitely, from my perspective, and maybe you can contradict me here, but it does seem mostly male dominated.
I think so for sure, because like any classes I've ever been in, like growing up, and even like when we had our our class here all the time, like it was mostly men for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same with my other industry of like video production and film and stuff, like mostly men. It's where I find myself, I guess.
Yeah. But being able to see people that can stand out in that is fantastic. I love seeing that, and so I definitely try to. I don't know that. Maybe I should more. I don't know that I specifically try to find women martial artists to follow, but whenever I do find one, if they pop up my feed, I probably follow them, because I usually find that they're doing an amazing job, and I want to highlight that. But I've also found too, because I speak Japanese, which I've mentioned before. Japanese stuff shows up in my feed sometimes, so I get I get martial artists from Japan that only speak Japanese, and it's really fun to follow those accounts as well.
So you're learning twice.
I am.
You get to like keep up with those skills, like two at once.
Yeah, no, it's actually really fun to like look at their posts, and then I get to like look at like the demos and the drills they're doing, and like, oh, that's really cool, and again see what I can take apart from that, but then also spend like 15 minutes just trying to read the caption.
Yeah.
Because for anyone that knows Japanese, there are 3 written systems, and kanji is really hard. Pardon?
I said, oh my.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They're kind of used all together. And one of them is called kanji, and it's the pictographic system that was taken from Chinese, and that's the hard one. That I don't know as many as many kanji as I should. So, but yeah, so I get to find these really good. What's her name? Inami Future is another martial artist that I follow on Instagram, and she's from Japan, and so her posts are all in Japanese, and sometimes there's translations, sometimes there's not, but again, fantastic. This is really good Tai Chi demos, as well as Kung Fu and some really cool kick and jump and flip demonstrations that are really really fun to watch.
Nice.
I like looking at their choreo and taking parts of people's choreo and their choreography and trying to play with different parts and make something else out of it. It's really fun. Really fun to do.
Another woman. Okay, this one's tricky, cause there's this woman. She just keeps coming up in my Instagram reels, and she doesn't have like an actual handle as far as I can tell. I looked. It took me forever to find one of the videos on purpose. And then I tried, and then I looked like so many different accounts, seeing if one of them was hers that was tagged on the videos. And I couldn't find a specific one to her, so I don't know if she has. But I found a lot of her videos. It's called martialarts.am. And that's the Instagram handle. So, okay. So there's this woman on there, and she does like these crazy, like, ridiculous looking self-defense with this guy all the time. So sometimes it's drills, but sometimes it's like, that jump, wrap around, kick around the neck and taking him down that way. It's stuff like that. And it's just, they're so detailed and quick and smooth, and I just really, really admire how like the fluidity of her choreography. And yeah, so every time I see, like, I like them, like, every time I see them. But yeah, I don't think she has a specific handle, unfortunately. Not that I could find, anyway. I tried.
I'm looking at the page now. Very cool. A lot of cool posts on here.
Yeah, so do you see the girl, like, I think it's one of the first two, and she's just, like, going after this guy in a gym. And she's...
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've seen some of her things as well.
Yeah, I love her.
They just kind of pop up once in a while.
I love her, but I can't. I don't know if she has a specific handle. I
did see. So one of her things where she did that takedown you're talking about, where, like, it's one you can only do with a partner that knows what's going on, where you kind of jump up and you push off your partner's leg, and then wrap your legs around the neck and swing and flip them onto the ground. Yeah, and it's a very, like, Hollywood thing. Like, you see, I remember, like, in Iron Man 2, like, Black Widow did that move at one point in the movie. And it's a very common, like, martial arts film move, because it's just it looks dope. It's super cool.
Yeah, it never gets old. I feel like.
No, but it's really funny. I did see a video, little thing pop up on Instagram a while ago of someone making fun of that move, and it was two people walk by, and one guy walks past the girl and knocks her shoulder, and she drops whatever, and she calls him out, and she goes and does the move and jumps up onto him and wraps her legs around. And of course, it's not a terribly practical thing to do, but it looks really cool when you have a partner. So they're making fun of it, and she jumps up and wraps her legs and then goes to swing and just kind of stands still, and there's no movement, and then she just slowly just gets down and just sorry and walks away. It was just it was a really funny take on that very common to see movie technique and just playing with it and making it funny. Just reminded me of that, because I saw that like a couple days ago.
That's awesome.
Again, send me it. If I see it again, I will. It's another one of those ones where it's like those random accounts that don't really post their own content. They just kind of reshare other people's content. And
yeah, frustrating. Appreciate it, but it's frustrating.
Yeah, and sometimes I've seen a lot of times where they do credit the original creators, but I guess similar is the one we were talking about. Like, it might be that she doesn't have an actual
Yeah, because
Instagram, or I'm not sure.
yeah, because they have other accounts tagged. So I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah, I don't
that's
know
how you can
what
find it.
happens there.
That's how you can find it, is through that one. Was the best one that I could see. Another sort of video I wanted to bring up was, and I have two accounts as examples here, are like educational ones. So they'll like break down. I really like reels or TikToks that break down like a technique, whether it be like a kick or a self-defense or something like that. Just simple little quick tips. And it's nice because it's like you feel more productive when you're like scrolling through, just like killing time, right? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're like learning new stuff, right? So yeah, one on Instagram that I had saved here is it's called Live Martial Arts. Oh no, wait. Yeah, live martial arts. There's also one
Is it
called.
all one word?
Yep. And then there's also one called at Mixed Martial Arts Official, and there's like underscores between all of those. And yeah, so those ones have like drills and like specific ones that break down how to do certain kinds of kicks or strikes, and yeah, that was really cool. And then this one guy on TikTok, I keep seeing these ones on TikTok. So I have this one as an example, is DW Self-Defense. He does self-defense, like specifically like for women getting attacked or like, getting mugged on the street kind of situation.
Oh, lovely.
And
Good.
yeah, and he has a really nice little setup too. Like he has one of those like rubber dudes, and he posts a lot of like very, very simple, easy to learn, like anyone can watch these and practice them based on the video. And I thought that was very useful, because it's like, it's nice to share that kind of stuff, right? Everyone should have something in their arsenal to work with in case something bad happens, right? So yeah, that's what I really liked about that guy's account.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely also got a few instructional ones that I follow, or random things that pop up in feeds. One of my favorite ones for instructional guys, there's a guy, I pulled it up here. So on Instagram, it's I think his name is DKU, so DK space YOO. But his Instagram handle is DKYOOWCS. The WCS stands for Warfare Combat System, which is the system that he does seminars in and teaches. And he's a fantastic martial artist. I think he's from Korea. I cannot confirm. I don't know for sure. But check out his Instagram and his content. He does seminars. I talked to you about it actually right before I moved to Montreal, because he was doing a seminar in New York, and I really, really wanted to go to it.
Right. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I talked to you about maybe heading out there for that seminar, and it was just bad timing. Neither of us could afford to. I was looking at making some questionable decisions and stretching myself thin to do it, but my better judgment took over, and so I keep an eye on for once the pandemic is done and he does seminars again, because I absolutely want to see his seminars. He does his seminars instruction is really about maximizing the efficiency of the movement in your body and how you can move better for whether it be sport or combat or whatever. And he does have a combat system that he's developed that he uses in his seminars for law enforcement in, again, I want to say it's Korea. I'm very confident in that, but not 100%. But he's very, very talented, and yeah, his is one of the ones that I follow for instructional videos and how-tos and things, because it shows fantastic biomechanic control and how to generate force really, really effortlessly, but with the most efficiency. It's really, really cool stuff to see.
That's cool. That's really different too. I've never really seen anything like that.
Yeah, his videos, and there's one of his demos that like, or not demo, but like a reel of just like advertisement reel of his that is really funny because there's one of his seminars where he had someone he was doing something with, and the guy that he was using for the whatever demo had basically a motorcycle helmet on, and this guy, I'm gonna call him DK because I'm assuming that's actually his name. I don't know. I do not speak Korean. It is on my Duolingo to-do list. But he's doing the demo with him, and he's doing something or other. And he throws a punch in this reel, this advertisement reel, and hits the side of the head, and his head goes off, and the visor flings off the helmet, which is really funny. It's just like, because it looks like he's putting no effort at all into what he's doing, but it's a lot of training drills to understand like, hey, if one part moves, how does that affect the rest of my body? How can I use this generation? How can I use gravity to my advantage? How can I take and redirect force in efficient ways? And so it's like I said, it's designed to be useful for even not in martial arts, even outside of martial arts, in just regular everyday life as far as body health, or to any other sports you might do, or practical applications of martial arts and whatever it may be. And so that's why I was really excited to do his seminar and just couldn't afford it, no matter how much I looked at my finances at the time, because I was changing to a new city. I just couldn't do it. But
yeah, those things are you got to pick one or the other.
yeah, well, I tried justifying it at the time because I'm like, well, I'm moving to Montreal, which is literally 5 hours from New York. I suppose I could. I was really trying hard to justify it at the time, and I actually had my wife's blessing at the time to do it, which wasn't helping. But I decided not to. One day we're going to do his seminar, Sam. You and me.
All right, sounds good.
And maybe we can rope Andrew in. We'll see. We'll try.
Or, like, we can just make him. Isn't he on the way?
He's in Minnesota. That's not on the way.
Yeah, it's on the way. It's in the States. It's on the way to New York.
Also, it depends on how you're getting there. If you're flying there, it's not on the way.
It could be on the way.
Yeah. Well, one day we'll figure it out. But the other instructional thing that keeps popping up that I find really, really funny is let's say corrections, for lack of a better term, to people posting videos about gun self-defense. Because as someone, and you've done this too, who's taught self-defense, who's done seminars with open hand to knife defense and study that, and I've spoken with a variety of people within law enforcement and such industries to understand the practicalities of this, and has looked at weapons defense. The funny thing about weapons defense is don't do it. If there's a knife involved or there's any kind of weapon involved, unless your life is at risk, you generally try to not engage. If like someone wants my money, I'll give my money because I'll just earn it again.
That's your tip from Master Thomas.
Yeah, no, legitimately, that's my
Wise.
tip. Like, yeah, like there's a whole thing about it. We could talk. I could go into more detail. The gist of it is, generally speaking, if someone presents a weapon and asks you for something, they don't want to actually harm you. Right? So if someone presents a knife and says, "Give me your money," they do not want to hurt you. They just want your money. So if you give them your money, chances are they won't actually hurt you.
Yeah.
And so once you then try to engage that weapon, then that's when things go awry. When you have a gun in the mix, it gets so much worse. And there's next to no reason to try and defend from a weapon. And so I've seen these videos lately of someone doing like a disarm with a weapon, and there's a few videos where like I see one popping up a lot where this guy's got someone holding a fake gun and is holding it like point blank to his head, and he does the whole like take the gun away, hit this guy, hit that guy, do all these things, and then it cuts to someone recreating it with like a Nerf gun or something so they can actually like shoot the person, and these guys that do it, it's hilarious because they'll set it up exactly the same way. The guy goes to do the thing, and each time it doesn't work because you're not that fast. But like the videos that I watch are funny where like the guy will try to take the gun away, they'll fail, and the person holding the gun will look at them and slaps them across the face. Which is just, it's all scripted. Like they're obviously like they know that the slap is coming. This is the video they've made, but it really illustrates the point in a really funny way. It's very instructional that like if there's a gun involved, it's probably not worth it. You're probably not going to win that fight.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I'm seeing a lot of is people.
Is this a specific account that you're talking about?
No, it's another one of those ones that just does like, I see like the same people doing it, but again on like accounts that do like reposts, and I haven't been able to figure out which guys are doing this.
Right.
Unfortunately, yeah. I can send them to you next time I see them, and I'll try and find some of them that I can put in the description of the video. For this podcast, I'll try and see if I can find some for that. But it's really funny being like, it's a good way of doing instructional videos, right? In my mind, of like, instead of just being a dry, oh, this is what you do, this is why you do it. It's a very funny way, an interesting way of making the point, to make it memorable that this is what happens if you try. This is why it's a bad idea. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's interesting.
Kind of like like how Master Ken's videos actually have like a surprising amount of wisdom to them.
Yeah, for sure. There's another one, Master Ken.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I love that guy. Was also in Paper Tigers.
You also sent me a YouTube a while back that I really like, with like kung fu techniques. I can't remember.
Probably.
I'm just thinking about it off the top of my head now. I don't remember what it's called.
I send you a lot of stuff, so that does not narrow it down a lot. Let me look through our chat history here.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I don't think. Hang on, let me look at my YouTube.
Doing lots of scrolling. This is the most exciting part of the podcast. I'm sure anyone listening to this on audio, including our German fans that are still hanging on.
Nice. Hi, German fans.
Hi, Germany. Love you. I think on the analytics now it's like 15% of our viewership is in Germany.
50%?
15.
Oh.
Yes, not 50. 50. That would be ridiculous.
I found this one. DKU.
Yeah, DKU. So yeah, that's the guy I was talking about with his, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's that same guy. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's his YouTube channel.
And then, where's the other one? Oh. That's why. They changed the letters are like, they're like in Chinese characters now. Okay, I can't pronounce this, but...
Let me see, maybe I can. Oh, yeah, Jung Hong's Kung Fu Club. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's another one on YouTube. That's the one you sent me like way back that I thought was really cool. Yeah,
I follow him on Instagram as well. He actually did a seminar a little while ago. He did an online seminar, a virtual seminar that I took part in. I was actually able to there's part of it where we were able to just sit and chat for a while, so I got to talk with him for a little bit. So he's located in Seattle. And he's a martial arts school owner. He's I don't know how long he lived at Shaolin Temple, but I think he did live there for a while. He was like a Shaolin disciple for a period of time. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, there's a few Shaolin disciples, former disciples or monks, not the same thing, that I follow on Instagram. It's really interesting seeing people. There's one guy in England who I follow who was raised at Shaolin, and left and started his school in London. And it's really interesting seeing the guys who spent some time at the Shaolin Temple and trained there, whether it be for only a couple of years and became disciples, or for much longer and were fully like monks and and seeing what they do is and what they promote is really, really interesting stuff. That's fascinating stuff to me as well, because I love all aspects of martial arts, but traditional stuff is generally one of my biggest fascinations with martial arts. It's why I stick to weapons a lot of times and stuff like that. But yeah, those guys are fantastic to watch. While scrolling through our history, I did come across another one that I sent to you that I think would be cool. Another weapon thing, but a guy that does a really cool thing with weapons, with swords.
Ooh,
I don't know
yeah,
if
yeah. I have a little sword for training in my apartment, so that would be fantastic.
You probably don't want to do this with that sword. This guy makes special, very special swords that light on fire.
Oh, I can't do that, no.
You probably don't want to do this with your sword.
Yeah, there's also sprinklers in this apartment.
Yes. If lighting things on fire, A, do so in a controlled manner. B, don't be indoors. And C, maybe be a pyrotechnics expert before you do that. But I don't know if he has an Instagram, but he has a Twitter handle that I follow. It's Kiwamu, so Kiwamu. On Twitter, and he makes these swords, these katanas, that are designed to catch fire.
That's awesome.
They're really interesting, and he posts these videos. And again, you may have a hard time reading his posts if you don't speak Japanese, but just watching the videos, they're really interesting. Like he'll do demos with the swords on the fire, and of course as you swing it, it creates a fire cloud. And he just recently posted some videos with a bamboo pole and him pulling the sword and cutting and sheathing the sword again, and the fire's going everywhere, and it's really, really neat. And there's another thing that I think is really cool to find is I mean, I love the traditional, like I said. I love modern elements like MMA and the sport side of martial arts, but being able to take something traditional like that and do something unique and cool with it, and I think the swords are like a special material. So as it's pulled out of the sheath, they get like a flint and steel type deal. So as it's pulled out, it ignites.
That's so
how
cool.
It works. I think so. Again,
that would be brilliant.
I'm not sure
if it is.
Yeah, it could also just be that they're coated in some flammable liquid, like an oil or something. I don't know. But they're his videos again on Twitter. I believe he might have Facebook. I know he has Facebook, actually. Not Facebook, YouTube. Again, super cool, and like they are. I do believe he sells them. I've been told by my wife I'm not allowed to buy a flaming sword.
Lame.
That's apparently that's where the line is drawn at flaming swords.
Tell her I'm team flaming sword.
I will let her know. I don't think that's going to change the opinion, but I will let her know that you are on board for me.
You need to do it for the podcast. We're going to do a flaming sword review.
We're going to an outdoor episode where I hopefully do not set my hair on fire.
Exactly. It'll be brilliant.
Well, if I ever manage to convince her to let me buy a flaming sword, I will let you know, and we'll figure out a way to do a review.
Do it for the gram.
I don't think I'll try. I don't think that's gonna work, but I'll give
Tell
it a
her
shot.
You want to be in a Marvel movie, so you need to step it up on the gram.
Yeah. When
she won't be crying when you're bringing home those Marvel dollars, those Disney Marvel dollars.
That's one of those things, like buying a flaming sword and trying to use it. Even for someone like me, who I would say I haven't taken kendo, but weapons theory and weapons aspect of martial arts is something that I study a lot. So I'm confident in my abilities with a katana. I have a couple. But that's one of those things when you buy a flaming sword, you're probably gonna get famous one like well known one way or another, it may not be the way you want. That'd be my concern with that is
worth it.
Not entirely sure. Going back to what we said before at the beginning of this about like the early days of YouTube when it wasn't really a means of making money. I do remember a video of like some kids with like a katana like playing with it and like pulling it out too fast and like holding it very wrong and like cutting their arms up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
a thing you can do.
That's special.
So yeah.
Oh my God.
As much as I disclaimer in that I've talked about weapons a whole bunch, don't do it unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
To anyone listening, we should probably put like a disclaimer on every episode. We are trained professionals.
But not in everything, so even we won't do anything.
Yep. I have my limits. For example, I would love
flaming
to.
Swords.
Will probably not whip around a flaming sword. You know, we know to a certain degree what we're doing. But if you don't do it.
Thank you for listening to the High Frequency Kicks podcast. Remember to subscribe on your favorite streaming service and give us a like.